Good afternoon. It is Friday afternoon, September 29th. We wrap out the end of the month. We wrap out the end of the week. We wrap out the end of the quarter. I'd like to do a big, it's going to be a little bit bigger, a market wrap video. We're going to cover a lot of different things. We're going to cover the major indices, and we're going to cover some hot stocks and the max list and the ETFs. So we've got systems. If you stick with systems, it makes life easier. We're going to take it right from the top. The Dow's acting fine. It's trending up. It's right near highs. That looks good. That's only 30 stocks. We don't get wrapped up in 30 stocks too much, so we'll go to the spiders, okay? This is the S&P 500. Walking on up the line, walking up the 20-day. Good price volume relationships 3 days ago. Good price volume relationships today. Again, maybe end of quarter dressing in there, but that's what it is. Here's the comp. The comp has been lagging, and today it pushed through those tops. That's good to see. That means the rally is spreading out. I like that. Now what I'm going to do before I go further, I'm going to take a look at some ETFs. Something I always tell people to do at missionwinners.com, that's easy for me to say on a Friday afternoon, is take a look at the ETFs, the big ETFs, industry ETFs, and sort them by percent up. Well, that's what I'm doing, so here's the first one for you. There's about 20 ETFs. We're going to go through them fast, but I just want to show you this. QLD, lifting up. You can say, why isn't that at new highs? A lot of the big max list stocks aren't participating to the same degree as a ton of other NASDAQ stocks. But it's still consolidating nicely. Takes out these tops across that line. That'll be great. Here's the next one. Steel. Steel picked up today, number 2, but really in no man's land. The number 3% up ETF today, China. China had a good day on a pickup in volume, bouncing off the 50-day. So you sit there and think, Chinese stocks, maybe we'll have to watch them. The kicker is this, you got to offset that big down day. That's China. Coal is lagging. Had a good day today, but coal is lagging. Financials, grinding on up. What's a big financial stock? Well, you can do Goldman Sachs. You can do JP Morgan, you can do Morgan Stanley, grinding on up, walking up the 8th day. You can see by doing this, we're just getting a good overview of the market. Semiconductors, you say, oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so now all of a sudden it's like, well, gosh, the semiconductors and some of the financials, that's really good. I should key on those. And you know what? They've been strong in here too. Biotech, this is one of the biotechnology ETFs, went up and it's been going sideways. Here we go. This is the FANG stocks, all right? Just ETF on the FANG stocks. Again, it represents just lagging. They're lagging at this point in time. Another biotechnology. Well, I'll be darned. We talked about this one last night, and look at it lifting up. That's why we have a couple of different biotechnology stocks. Solar's in the top 10 groups, but it got hit hard last week. I don't know if that's going to be in the top 10 groups right now. We'll see. There's the S&P 500 ETF leveraged. Oh, there's technology. So think about this. Technology, solar, semiconductors, biotech, areas you want to concentrate on. And we know we do that. Healthcare, lagging a bit. Home builders. I mentioned last night the home builders are strong. And lo and behold, some of the home builders took off today. We talked about them last night. Financials, there's another financial ETF, strong. Consumer discretionary, lagging, don't really look at it. This is an internet retail ETF, not doing anything, we won't look at it. Transports, up nice today, grinding on up, it's what you want to see. Transports, you'd remember that, it's like, maybe I should look at transport stocks. Metals and mining going sideways, industrials. Think about this, the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit new highs today. Well, here's the industrials doing well. Oil, basic materials, energy's been doing great. Consumer staples lagging, we leave those alone. Utilities lagging, gold miners. That narrows that down. Where do we go next? We go to the max list stocks. We're going to run through these. Here we go. Apple, below the 50-day. Nothing really going on there. We leave it alone. Amazon, below the 50-day. Nothing really going on there. We leave it alone. Avgo, below the 50-day. Loose, dead meat. Baba, above the 50-day. Going sideways. Moved above the 8-day a little bit today. Maybe it'll lift through the 20. Something to watch. Have to offset that big down volume a couple of days ago. Baidu lifted off today. I talked about Baidu last night. I think I mentioned it here. I know I did in missionwinners.com, and I had a list that I send out every night, and I send it out early enough that everybody can see it. Look at this going sideways right here. I'm going to slide this over one day. Look at that. Going sideways across those tops. Here it is. What I love to do is look at the daily, and then if it starts to trigger the next day, which was today, I look at the hourly. I want to show you something. This is yesterday at the close. Going sideways. This is an hourly chart, 60 minute. Going sideways. I always tell people this. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks, and by Jove, they voted. Look at the volume on that first hourly bar. Sweet. That's what we want to see. Here's the daily again. Facebook drops on heavy volume, rallies back above the 50. A little loose here. We'll see if it settles down. Google's picked up through the 50-day and it's marching up. Looks okay. Maybe it's going to start to lead again. We'll watch it and see. Netflix, right on the 20-day. If we could take these tops out here, that's the daily. Now let's take it to the hourly. Oh, little downward sloping trend line. Right here and here. Maybe it'll take that out and go. Above the 50, we'll have to watch it. Tesla, dead meat. Goldman Sachs, been leading with the financials. Priceline, below the 50, dead meat. Twitter, dead meat. If we tweet that, we'll get kicked off, so we won't, but not so good. Visa, charging ahead. I'm sorry for the pun. MasterCard, grinding up nicely. What we want to see, there's Visa again. Fell down to the 50 and bounced off the 50. You know, institutions support stocks at the 50-day or the 10-week moving average. Isn't it interesting how it came down to the 50 and bounced off of it? Visa down to the 20 and bounced off of it. There's Caterpillar. They're rebuilding a lot of different things, moving on up. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to take a look right here. There's the Dow. Going sideways. I got a limit alert set. Leading it. That's nice to see. Here's the S&P 500. Had a good day Wednesday. Had another good day today. And again, today was end of quarter and options expiration. That might be part of it. But you can't argue with it. People say, oh, it's got to pull back. Why? Because you think it does? There's a great quote. David Landry said this. I'll believe in what I see and not in what I believe. If it's going up, get in line with it. Don't argue. Don't pick tops. Just get in line with it. The comp came down, bounced off, grinding up. Took out highs, all-time highs today. You can't argue with all-time highs. Here's Micron. Been working up for us nicely. Had a good volume lift right there. We'll see where it goes. You could say, where do you get in here? Well, there's several spots down here, but then also it had earnings and it lifted off this day. Could have picked it up right across these tops, and it's just grinding up. Google, we already talked about, grinding up. Teradyne, a semiconductor stock, lifted through these tops on a good pickup in volume, and again, it's in the top 10 groups. It's on the Bill O'Neill list. Going sideways, it lifted through there on a pickup in volume. We'll see what it does. XBI, I mentioned this in missionwinners.com, and it was on the list, and I also mentioned it in the site yesterday, saying, hey, I'm going to pick some of this up, and I bought some. It's grinding up. Is it exploding? No, but it's grinding up. When will it stop? I don't know. We'll get in line with what is. There's Boeing again. QLD going side, or excuse me, Boeing, QLD, lifting up. There's SSO. We've been through these. Apple we've been through. Amazon we looked at. Dead meat. BABA. See if it can lift through there. We've covered the max list, so I'm going to grind through these quickly. Okay. There's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is starting to pick up. Semiconductors are really strong. Maybe this will start to pick up. There's one thing that's a negative here, though. I got to share this with you. It's really important, people. I can't stress. We have to look at every price and volume bar. I'm going to enlarge this and show you something. Right here, NVIDIA closed near its lows for the day on a pickup in volume. Right there. The next day, it gapped up. The open was right there. It gapped up, it ran up, and then it proceeded to fall and closed in the bottom fourth of its range for the day on heavy volume. Right here, folks, this stock was meant with selling. Selling. Has 2 inside days right here. Started to pick up again on a pickup in volume. This is one we'll watch, but at this point in time, it's a little loose, and we'll be careful with it. I sometimes like to expand the charts just to get us a better view of what's going on. Tesla, dead meat. Now, it was great lifting off here. It was really great back here. We owned this. This is wonderful. But right here, it's below the 20. It's below the 8. It's below the 50. I have to leave it alone. It fell on heavy volume. So, well, I'll buy some right here at the bottom and it'll bounce. We don't impose our will on the stock. It's bigger than all of us combined. We just get in line with trends. It was good here. We picked some up here. Double topped here. Sold it. Losing the 8. Until it starts to show some life, we'll leave it alone. Now, could that turn next week? Yeah, sure it could. I don't know, but we'll wait for price and volume to tell us. I'd like to show you a couple others from this week that worked out good. These were talked about on missionwinners.com with a list that I send out the night before. Not the day of. That ain't going to do anybody any good. I send it out the night before so that people can frame it up. The first one, Solar Edge. Just going sideways. I want to show you something here kind of nifty. Right there. That's what I was looking at, saying, take out these tops, buy it. Low volume, boom, the next day, payday. Here we go. Right there's the hourly chart. Right there's the first hourly bar. Look at the volume. They voted. It's what I love to see. Simple. Clean and simple base, wrote it right there. That's Solar Edge. We're in it. We'll see what happens. ACLS, right through here. Clean tops on a pickup in volume, and it marches up. Little short tops right there. But here's the neat thing. It was walking up the 8-day. I'm going to show you something here. Right there. There's the tops. Right there. Can it take it out? Well, maybe it will. Boom, they voted. Look at the volume pickup. That's what we want to see. Why? I want to show you a really great trick. I am a co-leader for Investors Business Daily Meetup, so we teach this stuff in depth once a month. We do chart analysis. I've been doing this since 1986, and so I'm a student of the markets. I love it. You look at the daily charts, but sometimes it's good to look at the weekly. You see this right here? You can say, oh, look at this. This thing went up here and it double topped, and that's it. It's over. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Here we go. Right there. That's what you're looking at, and you write it off. But here's the thing. It's still above the rising 50. It's above the 20. There's the daily. There's the weekly. Look at that. Goes up. Look at how it closed here. Boom. Payday. And off she goes. There's the weekly chart. So what do? We look at daily, but we also look at the weekly. It's just a great trick, and I wanted to share that with you. By the way, Bill O'Neill in an interview, somebody years ago asked him, if you could only look at one type of chart, what would it be? And Bill O'Neill said weekly charts. Not daily, but weekly. We're going to fly through here. Here's Ollie's. This has been written up in Investors Business Daily. Kind of a cup and a handle, and it lifted through on a slight pickup in volume. This is on the bill list. Is it going to keep on going? Well, it's a start. ESNT, positive write-up in IBD, kind of grinding up, a little loose in here. ACLS, I already went through that one. AEIS, choppy, but it's starting to pick up. And say, what group is this? Semiconductors. It's in the top 10 groups. Brooks Automation, semiconductor, top 10 groups. Kohu, lifted through this little handle here. I'm going to back up again. I'm probably going too fast. I get excited about this, you know. Here's Brooks Automation for you. Okay, there's a weekly. Here's a daily. Lifted off the 8-day right there. And folks, you see those clean tops? Look at the volume that day. Look at how it picked up. People were keying on that. So they're going, well, that's just hanging on the 8 day. There's really not too much. There's some tops there. Maybe it'll go. There you go, off to the races. Kohu, grinding on up. Look when that lifted off the 8-day. Look at the volume pickup. I love the 8-period exponential moving average. I'm going to share something with all of you. One of my heroes is a guy named Ed Secoda. You ought to read about him in Market Wizard. You ought to do a Google search on him. Years ago, I had the great opportunity to talk to him. Anyway, something very interesting. Ed Secoda trades commodities primarily. Ed Secoda uses the 5-period exponential moving average. I used to use the 10-period simple. And then I started and switched to the 5-period exponential, just like Ed with stocks. But gosh, I was getting stopped out of stuff all the time. It was bad. So you know what? I compromised. I started with the 10 simple. I switched to the 5-period exponential. What did I do? I went to the 8-period exponential. And that's what I use now. This is the 8 EMA. There's Kohu, NVMI on the bill list. Kind of grinding up, a little loose here, but it's picking up on a pickup in volume. Look at that. Lifted right off the 8-period, popped off the 8-period on a pickup in volume. LGIH. What is this? It's a home builder. Oh, I'll be darned. I think that might be in the top 10 groups. And look at what it does. Now again, you want to see something really cool? Watch this. XHB. Look at what this thing was doing the last couple of days. It was lifting off like the rocket's red glare. LGIH, home builder, lifted off with it. There's Baidu again. Here we go. MMSI. This is on the Bill O'Neill list. You can say, what's the Bill O'Neill list? MarketSmith is a product I've been using since like 2000. I was in the beta test group for the original Daily Graphs Online product. I love it. By the way, I don't work for them. I don't get anything from them. I don't get a discount. Don't think that. But I love MarketSmith and I love their screening tools. I love their charts. It's great for fundamental data and some technical. Not hardcore technical, but simple technicals like percent off 52-week highs. But check this out. MMSI. It's on the Bill O'Neill list from the Bill O'Neill screen. Just going sideways. Look at the price volume relationships. Look at the green bars. Look at the red bars. Looks to me like there's more green bars than red bars. How about that? Right here, I see some tops. So you combine all these variables together and you say, maybe there's an opportunity going across those tops. And you know what else is really cool? Look at this. The volume picked up a little bit that day versus the previous day. Yesterday it picked up a little bit more, and today it picked up a little bit more as it approaches this. We'll draw it right there. As it approaches that line, how about that? Something to watch. Semiconductor stock, top 10 groups on the Bill O'Neill list. Connect the dots. Alarm. Good stock, good group, going sideways. A little loose right there, but I want to show you something. You can say, oh boy, is that an awful bar. My goodness, what a way to end the week right there. Pat, why do you talk about it? It gapped down. I want to show you something. You have to look at the open. You have to look at the close. This stock gaps down versus the previous day, drops like a rock, and then proceeds to come back up, closes in the top fourth of its range on really heavy volume. And you know what's amazing? This stock closed above where it opened. They bought it back up. So it's going sideways. Leading stock, leading group. NXPI, right there. You want to know something really amazing? This stock came right up close to this. Tell me people don't look at charts and numbers. The high this day, right there. 113.39. 113.39. Right there. 113.40. Bill O'Neill talks about buying at 10 cents over the pivot. We're watching this stock. NXPI. Semiconductor. Leading stock. Leading group. Analog devices. Grinding on up. I know this was long, but I just wanted to share a few different things with you. We're going to be putting some lists out for you, okay? I run screens on MarketSmith and I put them together in list. They're compiled. And how are they ranked? I'll tell you how they're ranked. They're ranked by industry group, ranked first, and stock percent off high, second. I put those things together with certain price and volume constraints as far as leaders, and you'll be getting those. I also post the top 20 industry group ranks from MarketSmith with the industry group rank 3 weeks ago, last week, and this week. So it gives you an idea of where the strength is. I post this all the time. This last thing I'm going to share with you real quick. They pointed out from Investors Business Daily Research that 49 to 50% of a stock price's movement is related to the industry group and the sector it's in. So what the heck? Half of the movement is related to the group and the sector. There's 197 industry groups. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to fish in a good hole. I'm looking for stocks in the top 10 to 20 groups. That's where money flows. By the way, almost every stock I showed you today is in the top 10 groups. There you go. So, hey, thank you very much. I hope you all have a good, safe weekend. We'll have some more information. It's a pleasure working with you and working for you. Take care, be safe, and enjoy time away from the screens. Thank you.